Hey everybody, World War Guy here today, and yes, finally posting another video after a long break, I guess you can say. Before we begin, I hope everyone had great holidays, great Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's, anything you celebrate. I hope you guys had a great holiday season. Now, with that being said, let's look at these great boots. Yes, this is a review on the SM Wholesale Roughout boots, the US Roughout boots. Um, but these are reviews, or this is a review on boots that I've had since December of 2015. So that's about, what, 7 years or so since I've had these? So I've had these boots for quite a while, and I think they deserve a review on their own because actually never have done this. So with that being said, let's just jump into it. Now, these boots I got back in Christmas of 2015. This is something that I wanted. It was something to improve my impression, so I asked for these and I got them. And at the time, I believe they were about $150 or $160, somewhere around that price point. I think now they're around like 200 and something. They're over $200 now. I got these boots. I wore them without doing anything to them in terms of protective coating or anything like that, dubbing. And then I ended up using Snow Seal to dub them, which gave this very dark and worn color. And I will say, of the 7 years that I've worn these, they are probably the best boots I've ever had. They have not failed me once. There's only one issue, well, I guess two issues that I have with them that I will show in a second. But these boots have held up for a long time. I've used them to go hiking, for my impressions. I wear them to work almost all the time. I've used them when traveling, hiking, etc. And they've never fallen apart. They've never had issues. They've kept my feet warm and dry for the most part, unless I'm, standing in water for a long period of time. But these are great boots. I have had scuffs on them. You can see there's a lot of scuff markings, for example, on this one here. But they really don't dig into the leather. They are more of a cosmetic scuffs rather than actual damage to the boot itself. And they're actually very, very comfortable. I did put insoles. They're actually very worn out insoles, as you can see. Yeah, I think it's about time I get new insoles. But nonetheless, they're still relatively comfortable boots. The inside, if we can see, is leather. And it's not, it's the smooth leather. It's not a rough or anything like that. So for some people, you could probably get away with not using insoles. In terms of construction, I believe based off original ones, these are accurate. So if you're looking to buy these for reenacting in terms of accuracy, they're very accurate from what I am aware of. On the bottom, you have the correct style soles. Normally, you do have a row of stitching all around the boot with nails, but as you can see, the stitching is just about gone, and some of the nails even are kind of just missing. I think they just got worn out, but otherwise, the nails still stay in. I don't think I have any nails that fell out. There's just one nail here that did start falling out, but then from walking, it bent back into the boot, and now it's actually stuck. So as far as I'm aware, I think all the nails have stayed in place. Now, one thing I did have to replace were the shoelaces. The shoelaces that come with the SM Wholesale boots are pretty crap after a while. When, tying your boots over and over again, they start to fray and then tear off. It happened to one of my shoelaces. So what I did is I went over to at the front and bought these original nylon US laces, which make it look way better in my opinion. I think they look a lot nicer than the SM Wholesale laces. And they're original, so you have something that is accurate. And these are durable. I have used these for a few years now, and really there's just staining from the eyelets, from the metal rubbing on the laces. But otherwise, in terms of durability, I mean, they're still in great shape. These laces have no issues to them. And then the other small issue I had is this specific boot, not the other one, but this boot, my left foot, on the outside, the sole actually started separating from the boot. So you can see I crudely put some shoe glue here. I'm not very good. I'm not a cobbler, so I'm not very good at gluing this when you have that, you don't have that much room to open it up and put glue in. But so far it's holding. But on the inside, when I looked, the stitching was completely just rotted out. The leather didn't look too good because I'd walked around with it without, with it open, so water and moisture got in. So in terms of longevity for this boot, I don't know how long it'll last still. For all I know, it'll still last me plenty of years, but that's just the one issue, but I think that's just a fluke because, like I said, this boot right here has no issues. You do have a little bit of splitting here, but this is more, again, like a cosmetic splitting. It's not actually affecting the boot. There's no actual separation from the boot to the sole. And then on the outside where I had the issue on the other boot, you can see, again, a sort of cosmetic split, but the stitching is, or glue, whichever one, is still holding up very nicely. On the inside, they do have markings very similar to the original ones, and despite, oh, I just scuffed it. Despite wearing these for a long time, walking through water, sweating in them, snow and so on, the markings are still there. I mean, yes, it's faded in some areas as expected, but otherwise you can still read the majority of the markings there. Stitching on the inside, again, looks worn, but it's still there. Despite my feet rubbing up against the stitching in very, many hot spots, the stitching hasn't torn or anything like that. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I have nothing but positive reviews for these boots. I highly recommend you get them, even though the price has gone up. I assume and hope that SM Wholesale has not changed their manufacturer, has not changed their quality on these boots. If they have not changed any of that, I highly recommend you guys get these boots because they will last you at least 7 years, if not more, as they have lasted me this long. And of course, once you put some snow seal dubbing on it, it really darkens the boot and it gives this really nice used original look. Of course, I might have to redub it as well here, but like I said, a lot of these issues you might be seeing on screen are really just cosmetic, and they really won't affect the durability of the boots. They'll still keep your feet warm and dry for the most part. They won't tear, your toes won't stick out, and they will just be very comfortable boots. For boots, these are lightweight, durable, but comfortable, so they're really nice. Now, of course, eventually I want to replace the soles because you can see the traction is just about worn out. Again, there's the stitching issue on the other boot, so I would like to replace them. SM Wholesale does offer replacement leather soles, or rubber soles I should say, and then you just take it to a cobbler. The only issue I have with that, at the moment at least, is first of all, they sell it in two parts. You have the heel, which you buy separately for I think $25, and then you have the rest of the foot, which is sold separately from the heel for like $35. So what is that? That's $60. And you take it to a cobbler, and it's probably going to cost more than $60, $70 at a cobbler because I would obviously want them to to restitch and maybe add new nails. Yeah, definitely add new nails. So I feel like it's going to be at least $100 to replace that. So I'm already at $160. And yes, it is cheaper than buying new boots, but it's like, how much longer is the leather going to last? I don't know. I mean, it's still very pliable, and as long as I take care of it, they'll be fine. But then, before we end, in terms of care, like I said, the only care I've ever done really with them is just putting snow seal, and even then, out of the 7 years I've had these, I've put snow seal on maybe less than once a year, so maybe 4 or 5 times I put snow seal on. Never put any sort of, what's the word? Not shoe shine, but polish. I've never put any polish on it. Never really done any sort of treatment to it besides the snow seal, and they still hold up perfectly fine. So, all in all, great boot. I highly recommend this for anyone looking for a pair of boots, anyone looking to reenact, USGI during World War II. They're going to last you a really long time, and they're really comfortable, and they just look really cool as well. I've gotten a lot of compliments on them, so. But that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed this, relatively short review. If you did, drop a like, write a comment, share, and subscribe. But besides that, you guys have a great day.